Hello, humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer, the disaster that is Concord. It's being compared to other disasters in the video game industry, guys. And when I thought about it a lot by reading what a lot of people were saying, writing on Twitter and what have you, I disagreed. Some people were comparing it to, the Justice League, and Suicide Squad, and they were comparing to Anthem. And the only thing that I could think of was E.T. That's what I thought about, right? Because I think this is a bellwether moment, just like it was back in 1982. Back in 1982, when the disaster of E.T. occurred, right? 1982, I think it was Christmas 1983. I'm trying to remember, that game was released so fast, but the one thing I do remember is I spent my stupid Christmas money on this fucking game, and it was absolute trash. It was just a horrible game. Right? I regretted every single dollar that I spent on this game. And let me tell you, this is the same type of event, as far as I can see. Because if you think about it, these are two of the biggest companies at their moment with the biggest financial disasters by providing customers products that they didn't want, that didn't meet their expectations, subpar material. It's not what the people, the public wants. Now, it doesn't matter, that it's hard to get objective opinions on the internet because everybody makes it political, right? And sometimes in business, you just have to look at the numbers. Businesses want to make money. The reason they made this game this way is because they thought they were going to make money. Whenever they thought of this, they said that it was a different time 8 years ago, what have you, maybe because of the politics of the time. They thought that this was going to be a more successful game if they went this route. Well, obviously they were wrong. Because as much as people want to make different numbers for console gamers, the majority of console gamers are men. And by high numbers, they try to make it 50-50 and diverse here and no, sorry. When you look at these numbers, it's just wishful thinking. You're making up customers that don't exist, right? The people producing the games have completely different tastes than the people actually buying them. That's why Asia is being more successful right now than the Western market. But just like Atari back in the day, it started off a chain reaction. Losing $200 million, by most estimates out there, right, is an incredible amount of money. Can you imagine how many, engineers you could have brought up through your systems with that kind of money, right? If you're seeking real diversity, which is, just a word for these companies. I'm sorry. I got to tell the truth here, guys. When I look at the rosters of these companies, it's still the same suspects, right? If what they're claiming is they want a more diverse workforce, well, create more engineers, create more people that actually make money. Don't hire, these token hires that, they use them in, in departments that don't make the money. Right? And instead invest in the future. Because we know our education system is lacking. If your goal is true diversity in the workplace, invest in education. Stop with this tokenism and making up fictitious characters, right, that don't exist in a video game, but still have the same people in the workplace, right? All they do is paint their hair, right? All they do is change their gender. But it's still the same people. Nobody's getting new opportunities. Maybe hire people from your community of the people that you're trying to sell. Because obviously you missed the mark here badly. Sony's learning that to the tune of $200 million. Now, let me tell you, when it comes to this, people say it's just going to be a tax write-off. No, let me break it down for you. Because I own Sony stock, right? I follow these things, right? And all in all, the problem with the PlayStation is that they don't make enough profit. There's a difference between revenue and profit. When people look at the revenue, they go, oh my God, they made $26.8 billion last year. This company's rich. Sure, that's a lot of money. But out of that money, their operating profit is only 1.8. That's it. So even though they're making billions and billions of dollars, they're spending billions and billions of dollars. It's not very profitable. This is why Nintendo eats their lunch. Nintendo isn't focused on giving you every blade of grass and hiring consulting companies and all this crap. They want to make a good playable game with the graphics that they can produce that are okay and acceptable to the customers. And that way they maintain a higher profit margin than PlayStation. That's how they're eating their lunch, right? All these AAA companies are going the same way. They're obsessed with graphics and not with gameplay. They're obsessed with messaging and not obsessed with what the customers actually want. If you want to be obsessed with messaging, see what your customers want and give them that message. Regardless, it doesn't matter. If the majority of people, are leftist or conservative, whatever the hell they are, you need to sell to your customers and sell to the most amount of people. Now, if you're creating one message and it's not selling, there's nothing you're going to do, right? People want what they want, and you're not delivering it to the tune of $200 million. This is going to send shockwaves throughout the industry because this has been the biggest disaster, and Sony is owning it. They have the money to do it, but they got to change course. You can't lose this kind of money. You can't lose 10% of your profit because you can only do it 10 times. You can't afford another disaster like this. I don't know how that CEO keeps his job, let me tell you. You had a 2% drop in the market today, and their stock price, the stock market in general, was down. But I'm sure this news didn't help. Investors don't like that. Boards don't like eating $200 million, let me tell you. It's not their cup of tea. But I think when we look back in time, and we look back and say when the industry changed, it's going to be this moment. We're going to remember this moment of Concord, just like we remember Atari in 1982 with the ET and all those copies in the garbage in the landfill, man. That's the same exact feeling that I get. That's the one thing about being old. You see things come and go, right? And sometimes history just repeats itself. New videos every Monday and Sunday. Thank you for joining me on another episode of the Gen X Gamer. Remember to like and subscribe, click that notification bell, and remember, never ever be afraid to be happy. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.